Have you ever wondered why your hair started thinning, shedding, or losing its shine, even though you're eating what you believe is a healthy diet? Here's a surprising truth. Most hair loss in seniors has very little to do with age itself. It has everything to do with what's really going on inside your body. Hair is not just cosmetic. Hair is a metabolic signal. When the body feels safe, nourished, and hormonally balanced, hair grows. When the body feels stressed, inflamed, or underfueled, hair shuts down quietly and efficiently. Here's what's really going on inside your body. After the age of 50, three critical systems change. Insulin sensitivity declines, digestive absorption weakens, hormonal signaling slows. Your body becomes more selective about where it sends nutrients. And when nutrients are limited, hair is one of the first systems to be deprioritized. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body as a city during a power shortage. Hospitals stay lit, emergency services stay running, but streetlights, like hair, are turned off first. Hair loss is not the problem. It's the warning light. What the research shows is that thinning hair in seniors is strongly linked to low protein signaling, poor iron and zinc absorption, chronic inflammation, liver congestion, elevated cortisol, stress hormone. And here's the mistake most people make. They try shampoos, they try oils, they try supplements, but hair does not grow from the outside in. Hair grows from the inside out. That's why today's conversation is so important. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 specific foods that don't just support hair. They restore the internal environment hair needs to grow. These foods work by improving nutrient absorption, lowering inflammation, supporting liver detoxification, stabilizing blood sugar, restoring hormonal balance, and no, this is not about eating more. It's about eating smarter. Some of these foods activate growth signals. Some protect hair follicles from oxidative stress. And some quietly reverse deficiencies you may not even know you have. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post science-driven, practical content like this every day to help you age with strength, clarity, and confidence. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to eat, when to eat it, and why it works, so your hair, energy, and overall vitality can begin to return naturally. Let's start by looking at the 6 core insights that explain why hair loss happens after 50 and how food can reverse it. Let's begin with the first food that brings life back to aging hair, and it's one of the most misunderstood foods for seniors: eggs. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Hair is made primarily of keratin, a structural protein that requires 3 things to be produced properly: high-quality amino acids, adequate sulfur. Proper B vitamin signaling eggs provide all 3 in a form your aging body can actually use. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of hair growth like building a house. Protein is the bricks. Vitamins and minerals are the workers. Hormones are the blueprint. Most seniors are missing workers and blueprints, not bricks. Eggs are unique because they deliver bioavailable protein, especially leucine, an amino acid that activates growth signaling pathways like mTOR in a controlled physiologic way. What the research shows is that seniors require stronger protein signaling to maintain tissue repair, including hair follicles, than younger adults. Egg yolks also contain biotin, choline, and vitamin B12, which are critical for hair shaft strength, scalp circulation, nerve signaling to follicles. Now here's the key mistake. Many seniors avoid egg yolks because of cholesterol fears, but cholesterol is not the enemy. Insulin resistance and inflammation are. In fact, cholesterol is the raw material your body uses to make hormones like testosterone and estrogen, both of which directly affect hair density. There's more. Egg yolks support the liver, and the liver plays a hidden role in hair health. A healthy liver ensures hormones are properly activated and detoxified. When the liver is sluggish, hormone imbalance increases, and hair thinning follows. Here's the correct protocol for eggs after 50. Eat 2 whole eggs, 4 to 5 times per week. Prefer pasture-raised or omega-3 enriched eggs. Cook gently, soft-boiled, poached, or lightly scrambled. Pair with vegetables or healthy fats. Avoid eating egg whites alone. Without the yolk, you lose the nutrients that make the protein usable, and timing matters. Eggs are best eaten in the morning or early afternoon when protein utilization and insulin sensitivity are highest. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I share science-backed strategies like this every day to help you restore energy, strength, and confidence naturally. In the next section, we'll talk about a food that reverses mineral deficiencies that quietly weaken hair follicles, even in people eating healthy diets. Now let's move to the second food that brings life back to aging hair. And this one works at a level most people never think about: pumpkin seeds. Here's what's really going on inside your body. One of the most common hidden causes of hair thinning after 50 is zinc deficiency. Not because seniors don't eat zinc, but because they don't absorb it well. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of zinc like a master key. Without it, doors don't open, even if everything else is in place. Zinc is required for hair follicle repair, keratin production, scalp immune balance, hormone signaling. When zinc is low, hair follicles enter the resting phase too early, and shedding increases. What the research shows is that zinc deficiency is strongly associated with telogen effluvium and age-related hair thinning, especially in adults over 50. Pumpkin seeds are one of the best whole food sources of bioavailable zinc, and they come with something equally important: healthy fats that improve absorption. But that's not all. Pumpkin seeds also help regulate DHT, a hormone linked to hair follicle miniaturization, particularly in men, but also in postmenopausal women. Here's what's really important. DHT is not inherently bad. The problem is excess DHT signaling in a nutrient-deficient environment. Pumpkin seeds help rebalance that signal, not by blocking hormones aggressively, but by improving the metabolic context in which those hormones operate. There's another layer. Pumpkin seeds support the gut, and gut health directly affects hair. If the gut lining is inflamed or mineral absorption is impaired, hair follicles simply don't receive what they need to grow, no matter how healthy your diet looks. Now let's talk about how to use pumpkin seeds correctly. Here's the protocol for seniors. Eat 1-2 tablespoons per day. Prefer raw or lightly toasted seeds. Chew thoroughly or grind them. Pair with protein or healthy fats. Avoid salted, roasted, or processed seed snacks. They oxidize fats and increase inflammation. Timing matters too. Pumpkin seeds are best eaten with meals, not alone, to improve mineral absorption and reduce digestive stress. If this is resonating with you, take a moment to subscribe. This channel focuses on root cause nutrition, not trends or quick fixes. In the next section, we'll cover a food that restores iron delivery and oxygen flow to hair follicles, especially important for seniors experiencing fatigue and diffuse thinning. Now let's talk about the third food that brings life back to thinning hair, especially in seniors who feel tired, weak, or notice hair shedding all over the scalp. Spinach. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Hair follicles are highly oxygen dependent. If oxygen delivery drops, hair growth slows, no matter how many supplements you take. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of hair follicles like tiny factories. Protein is the raw material, but oxygen is the electricity. Without electricity, the factory shuts down. One of the most common reasons seniors lose hair is low iron availability, not always low iron intake. As we age, stomach acid decreases. Lower stomach acid means poorer iron absorption, especially from plant foods. Spinach helps here in a unique way. It provides non-heme iron, but more importantly, it delivers folate and vitamin C cofactors that improve iron utilization and red blood cell production. What the research shows is that folate deficiency is strongly associated with diffuse hair thinning and premature graying, particularly in older adults. Spinach also supports nitric oxide production, which improves blood flow to the scalp. Better circulation means more oxygen, more nutrients, and stronger growth signals. But here's the key mistake. Many seniors eat spinach raw, in salads or smoothies, and think they're doing the right thing. Raw spinach contains oxalates, which bind minerals and reduce absorption. So the food is right, but the preparation is wrong. Here's the correct protocol for spinach after 50. Lightly cook spinach. Steam or saute briefly. Pair it with healthy fats like olive oil. Add a source of vitamin C, lemon, peppers. Eat it 3 to 4 times per week, not daily. Cooking reduces oxalates and makes iron and folate more bioavailable. Spinach also supports the adrenal glands, which helps lower cortisol. Why does that matter? Because elevated cortisol pushes hair follicles into the shedding phase. Lower cortisol allows hair to stay in the growth phase longer. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post clear, science-driven strategies like this every day to help you restore vitality, naturally. In the next section, we'll talk about a food that restores healthy fats to the scalp and hair shaft, improving shine, thickness, and resilience from the inside out. Now let's talk about the fourth food that brings life back to aging hair, especially hair that feels dry, brittle, or has lost its shine. Fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Hair is not just protein. Hair is also fat dependent. Every healthy hair strand is coated with natural oils that protect it from breaking, drying, and thinning. As we age, the body produces fewer of these oils, not because the scalp is broken, but because fat signaling is impaired. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your hair like a tree. Protein builds the trunk, but healthy fats are the sap that keeps it flexible and alive. Without sap, the tree becomes dry and brittle, even if it's still standing. What the research shows is that omega-3 fatty acids play a direct role in reducing scalp inflammation, extending the hair growth phase, improving hair shaft thickness, supporting follicle stem cells. Fatty fish are one of the most powerful whole food sources of omega-3s, specifically EPA and DHA, which are far more effective than plant-based omega-3s. There's another important layer here. Omega-3s help lower insulin resistance and cortisol, both of which accelerate hair thinning when elevated. High insulin and high cortisol send the body a stress signal. And when the body is stressed, hair growth shuts down. Fatty fish calm that signal. They also support the liver, which is essential for hormone balance. Balanced hormones mean stronger, more stable hair follicles, especially after menopause or andropause. Now let's talk about how to use fatty fish correctly. Here's the protocol for seniors. Eat fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week, prefer wild caught when possible. Cook gently, baked, steamed, or pan-seared lightly. Avoid deep frying or heavily processed fish. If you don't eat fish, a high-quality omega-3 supplement can help, but food works better when possible because it comes with supportive nutrients like vitamin D and selenium. Timing matters too. Fatty fish are best eaten earlier in the day or at lunch, when fat digestion and bile flow are stronger. And one more key point. Omega-3s don't work overnight. They work by changing the inflammatory environment over weeks. That's how real hair restoration happens. In the next section, we'll talk about a food that reactivates collagen production, strengthening the scalp and anchoring hair follicles more firmly in place. Now let's talk about the fifth food that brings life back to aging hair, especially in seniors who notice hair becoming thinner at the scalp, breaking easily, or shedding at the roots. Bone broth. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Hair follicles don't just sit in the scalp, they are anchored in connective tissue made largely of collagen. As we age, collagen production naturally declines and the scalp becomes less supportive. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of hair like a plant. Protein builds the stem, but collagen is the soil. When the soil erodes, even a healthy plant struggles to stay rooted. What the research shows is that collagen loss weakens the hair follicle environment, leading to increased shedding, slower regrowth, finer, weaker hair strands. Bone broth is unique because it supplies collagen-building amino acids, especially glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, in a form your aging body can easily absorb. But bone broth does more than support structure. It also supports the gut-liver axis. Here's why that matters. If digestion is weak, protein and minerals are not absorbed efficiently. If the liver is overloaded, hormones become imbalanced. Both scenarios shut down hair growth. Bone broth gently repairs the gut lining, improves nutrient absorption, and reduces systemic inflammation, creating an internal environment where hair follicles feel safe enough to grow again. There's another important layer. Bone broth provides glycine, an amino acid that lowers cortisol and improves sleep quality. Why does sleep matter for hair? Because hair growth hormones are released at night during deep sleep. Elevated cortisol blocks those signals. Better sleep yatters better hair growth signaling. Now let's talk about how to use bone broth correctly. Here's the protocol for seniors. Drink 1 cup per day, or at least 4 to 5 times per week. Choose slow simmered broth, 12 to 24 hours. Avoid commercial broths with additives and sugar. Add a pinch of sea salt or turmeric for absorption. Bone broth is especially effective in the evening, about 1 to 2 hours before bed, when the body shifts into repair mode. And no, collagen supplements alone are not the same. Without glycine, minerals, and the gut healing components, collagen powders often fail to deliver lasting results. Whole food wins again. Now here's an important reminder. Hair restoration is not about forcing growth. It's about removing stress signals and restoring structural support. Bone broth does exactly that. In the next section, we'll talk about a food that replenishes key antioxidants that protect hair follicles from oxidative stress and premature aging, something that becomes critical after 50. Now let's talk about the final 2 foods that bring life back to aging hair. And these work by protecting hair follicles from oxidative stress and hormonal aging. Berries and extra virgin olive oil. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As we age, hair follicles are constantly attacked by oxidative stress, unstable molecules that damage follicle DNA, shorten the growth phase, and accelerate graying and thinning. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of oxidative stress like rust. It doesn't break something overnight. It slowly weakens it until it fails. Hair follicles are especially vulnerable to this kind of damage. What the research shows is that antioxidants can slow follicle aging, protect stem cells in the scalp, and extend the hair growth cycle. This is where berries come in. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries are rich in polyphenols and anthocyanins, compounds that protect blood vessels and improve circulation to the scalp. Better circulation means more oxygen, more nutrients, stronger growth signals. Berries also help lower insulin spikes, which is critical because repeated glucose surges push hair follicles into the shedding phase. Now here's the key. Berries don't work alone. They need a fat partner to fully deliver their benefits. And that's where extra virgin olive oil plays a powerful role. Extra virgin olive oil supports hair health in 3 major ways: reduces systemic inflammation, improves hormone signaling, protects scalp blood vessels. It's rich in oleic acid and polyphenols, which calm inflammatory pathways that damage hair follicles over time. There's another important connection here. Olive oil supports the liver, and a healthy liver means balanced hormones. Unbalanced estrogen, testosterone, and thyroid hormones all contribute to hair thinning after 50. So when you support the liver, you indirectly support hair growth. Now let's talk about the correct protocol. For berries, eat 1/2 to 1 cup per day. Prefer fresh or frozen. Avoid juices and sweetened versions. Eat them with meals. For olive oil, use 1-2 tablespoons daily. Always choose extra virgin. Use it raw or at low heat. Add it to vegetables, eggs, or fish. Here's a powerful combination: berries plus full-fat yogurt plus olive oil drizzle, or berries after a protein-rich meal. This pairing stabilizes blood sugar and enhances antioxidant delivery. Let me repeat this key point. Hair loss after 50 is not inevitable. It is often a sign of oxidative overload and hormonal imbalance, both of which food can correct. And with that, we've now covered all 7 foods that restore the internal environment hair needs to grow. Next, I'll bring everything together and show you how to apply this simply, without overwhelm, so your hair, energy, and vitality can begin to return naturally. Let's bring everything together. Hair loss after 50 is not a cosmetic failure. It is a biological message. Your body is telling you that something in the internal environment has shifted. Energy signaling, hormone balance, nutrient delivery, or inflammation control. And the powerful thing you've learned today is this: when you fix the internal signals, hair can respond. Let's quickly recap the 7 foods and why they matter. Eggs restore high-quality protein signaling and hormone-building nutrients. Pumpkin seeds replenish zinc and rebalance DHT signaling. Spinach improves iron delivery and oxygen flow to hair follicles. Fatty fish restore omega-3 fats that protect and nourish hair shafts. Bone broth rebuilds collagen and strengthens the scalp foundation. Berries protect follicles from oxidative stress and aging damage. Extra virgin olive oil calms inflammation and supports hormone balance. Notice the pattern. None of these foods work by forcing hair growth. They work by removing stress signals and restoring biological safety. And that's how the body heals. Here's what's really important to understand. Hair grows slowly, but the signals that control hair growth change quickly. Within days, blood sugar stabilizes. Within weeks, inflammation drops. Within months, hair follicles re-enter the growth phase. This is why patience matters and why consistency beats intensity. Now here's your challenge. For the next 14 days, choose just 3 of the foods we discussed and include them consistently. Don't change everything at once. Let your body adapt. Pay attention to energy levels, sleep quality, digestion, scalp comfort. These are early signs that your internal environment is shifting. Remember this: hair restoration is not about fighting age. It's about supporting biology. When your metabolism is calm, your hormones are balanced, and your nutrients are available, hair growth becomes possible again. If this video added value to your life, like the video and subscribe to the channel. You'll join a community focused on real science-based strategies for aging with strength, clarity, and confidence without medication. And finally, keep this in mind: your body wants to heal. Your job is to give it the right signals. Start with food and let the rest follow.